goes up strong, lays it off the glass, good. From the corner, three-pointer, and he hits it.
I love him. I love this kid. He plays so hard. If you're a fan of the league, you got to get out here and watch this kid play.
Jeff Bishop, well, he's seen a Broadway play today, School of Rock, so he is unable to be at today's Patriot League men's basketball game, which I'm sure it's a good play, but not as entertaining as Division I men's basketball here as Loyola, Maryland, taking on Colgate. The Raiders have owned this series as of late. Before the January 26th victory by the Greyhounds, Colgate had won 5 in a row. This is the 14th meeting between the two schools, with Colgate leading the overall series 8-5. Taking a look at the starters first for Loyola, Maryland. Isaiah Hart, Chuck Champion, Jalen Andrews, who had a career-high 15 points, career-high 4 steals against Colgate. He was Patriot League Rookie of the Week for his performance against Colgate and Bucknell the week of January 26th, or right around then. He had 10 of his 15 after the half. Coming off 11 points, career-high 8 rebounds in the loss to Bucknell last time out. Andrew Kostecka, who leads the Patriot League with 21 points per game. Also, he knows how to steal the basketball, 59 steals. That is best in the Patriot League. He is at 998 career points, so the watch for the 1,000th point is on for the junior guard out of Germantown, Maryland. The starting 5 rounded out by Kevon Scott, a junior forward out of Irvine, California. Tavares Hardy, who played his college ball at Northwestern, was an assistant coach there, is now at the helm his first year with Loyola, Maryland. He also was an assistant coach at Georgetown and the last couple years at Georgia Tech before assuming this position. Colgate led by Matt Langle in his 8th season, 104 career victories for Coach Langle. That is tied 5th all-time at Colgate with Ellery Huntington, who roamed the sidelines between 1900 and 1913. The good news for the Raiders, JB is back. Jordan Burns, after missing 5 games due to an injury, will get the start today, coming into today's game, 198 career assists, and he leads the Raiders as 3rd in the Patriot League at 17.4 points per game. In the backcourt with him, Tucker Richardson. Dana Batt gets the start at the center position. He had 18 points at Loyola, which tied a career high earlier this season. Will Raymond, preseason All-Patriot League, coming in 4th in the Patriot League in rebounding with 6.5 caroms a game. Rapolis Ivanauskas is 2nd in rebounding in the league, 8.5 rebounds per game. He had a double-double against Loyola, 16 points, 12 rebounds, coming off a career-high 33-point performance against Lehigh in that 22-point victory. He did foul out against Loyola, Maryland in the previous encounter. Loyola, Maryland wins the opening tap. We're also on Patriot League Network on Stadium. Loyola, Maryland wearing their green uniforms with the black numbers outlined in white. Isaiah Hart's entry pass stolen away. So Colgate on the attack, and what a refreshing scene it is to see Jordan Burns at the point guard position. In his absence, Tucker Richardson has been phenomenal, having at least 5 assists in the last 5 games, which coincides with Burns' absence. Mismatch right now, Ivanauskas on the much smaller Hart. Ivanauskas doing a good job bodying him up, but a little too physical. Called for the foul. Talking about a mismatch, Ivanauskas 6'10", while Hart stands 5'11". Can have all the heart in the world, but 6'10" versus 5'11". Colgate would take that matchup every single time around. Here is Dana Batt, and he is pushed, trying to back down Casimir Ochiaka. Ochiaka gained the start today. Pass down low. Ivanauskas has it blocked by Kostecka. Andrew Kostecka leads the team in blocks with 23. Couple fouls, though, in the early stages against Loyola, Maryland. Nice pass down low from Hart to Kostecka, and there it is. Kostecka has 1,000 points for his career. 38th player in Loyola, Maryland history to accomplish that feat. First points of the game for Kostecka, and he has a cheering section here I would assume family and friends. They have the 1,000 point signs out. Loyola, Maryland with the first points of the game, leading 2-0. Nice behind the back dribble by Richardson. Down low to Bat. 5 on the shot clock. Bat adjusts his position down low and scores over Ochiaka. 2-2. Tapped out of bounds. Andrew Kostecka was actually held in check against Colgate in the previous encounter, 13 points. Here's Jalen Andrews with a left-handed dribble. Andrews passes out to Hart. Ochiaka getting the start today instead of Kevon Scott. Kostecka is fouled by Raymond, tosses it up. Just trying to make it a shooting foul. Let's see what the official says. I didn't think he was in the act of shooting, just trying to force it up after he knew the contact was coming from Will Raymond. And indeed, the official agrees. Chris Bohm, Joe Ranowitz, Julian Austin, the officiating crew for this Patriot League contest. A near steal, and it is a steal by Tucker Richardson. Once again, an entry pass on the low block, stolen away by Colgate. Richardson to Ivan Askus, high elbow left side. Down low to Dana Bat. Bat has it slapped away by Champion. Loyola, Maryland looking to run. Bounce pass ahead from Andrews to Hart. Hart, indecision, was going to try and put it up, but Raymond was right in his face. 18 on the shot clock. Champion one dribble. Here's a quick release by Andrews. Catches the side rim. The Bulldog, Dana Bat, goes high into the Hamilton sky for the loose ball. Left side to Burns. Burns scatters to the top of the key. Throw down low to Dana Bat. Bat one-on-one against Ochiaka, and he travels. Dana Bat, good inside position. Last time he had the ball stripped away, and this time he travels. 4 combined points here at Cotterell Court in Hamilton, New York. 2 points apiece as we are tied in the early stages. Kostecka uses the high screen set by Ochiaka to drain the three. Kostecka leads Colgate 5-2 all by his lonesome. As he has the first 5 points for Loyola, Maryland. Dana Bat has it once again, spins this one off glass and in. And the Raiders pull within one, 5-4. Kostecka leads the team in threes with 36 triples on the season. 5-4 Loyola, Maryland if you're just joining us. Kostecka offers it to Champion, right side. Turnaround by Ochiaka, no good. Rebounded by Dana Bat. Champion scoreless in his last 2, 0 for 7 combined from the floor. Although he had a season-high 19 points against Colgate. Rapless, Ivan Askus left all alone. He puts up the 3 ball, and the Raiders have their first lead of the game, 7-5. Blown defensive assignment that time by the Greyhounds. Almost 5 minutes in, Isaiah Hart accelerates and scores from the right side, tied at 7. Some token pressure in the backcourt. Tucker Richardson gets rid of it to Raymond. Looked like some contact between Andrews and Richardson. A battle of freshmen in the backcourt, no whistle. Richardson to Dana Bat, 1 foot in the foul circle. Shoves it left side to Jordan Burns. Burns, nice shoulder fake, puts it up, misses the shot, but was fouled. And that will bring us to our first media timeout. 15:20 to play in the first half. Early look at the stat sheet. Loyola, Maryland 3 out of 5, Colgate 3 out of 4. Jordan Burns at the line, and that's his first point. What, the last 6 games as Jordan Burns missed the last 5. Colgate 3-2 in Burns' absence. He gets a little home loving from the rim as it rolls around and falls in. And number 1, the San Antonio sophomore, gives Colgate the lead right back, 9-7. Jordan Burns' last appearance was January 19th at Boston University when he put in 15. Kostecka another 3. This bounces out, no good. Burns was not available in the loss to Loyola Maryland. Throwback Askus thinks about the three. Instead, he spin dribbles his way to the left low block. Puts it up and in over the much smaller Kenneth Jones, who enjoyed a career-high 16-point performance against Colgate. Since that encounter, he has had 12 points combined in his last three. The Raiders lead 11-7. Askus has an early 5. Andrews soars in the 3-ball from the left wing. Jalen Andrews, only 27% from beyond the arc. That's his 15th triple of the season. Burns is double-teamed in the backcourt, gets rid of it to Richardson. Richardson right back to Burns. 11-10 Colgate after the Andrews 3, and Andrews called for the foul on the perimeter. That will be the 4th team foul. Isaiah Hart already out of the game with 2 personals for Loyola Maryland. And that will be the first against Andrews. Dana Batt replaced by Malcolm Regice, shooting 67% from the floor, which is second best in the Patriot League. He tied his season high 12 points at Loyola earlier this season. The big men had a really good day. They had a 9-point lead with under 10 minutes to go, but the Raiders just could not seal the deal. Here goes Regice. What a spin move. Completely fakes out Kevon Scott. And the easy right-handed turnaround. It was easy because it was such a nice post move by Malcolm in the middle, and the Raiders lead by 3, 13-10. Jones puts in the 3. Like I said, he's been struggling a little bit since the Colgate game. But Jones with a quick release 3, had a hand in his face, it didn't matter. 26th triple of the season, tied at 13. The 3-ball working for Loyola Maryland. Nice setup by Richardson. Regisford, point blank range, could not put in the lefty hook. Andrews on the other end is fouled before he puts up the shot. Non-shooting foul, 2nd team foul against Colgate. Loyola Maryland, not known for their 3-point shooting ability, as they average 5.4 threes a game. In conference play, that is 9th. At the free throw line, Andrews rattles that one home. For the season, 6.2 a game, which is last in the Patriot League, while Colgate averages 8 triples a game. Andrews made his first free throw. Back at the line for another, 64% free throw shooter. Makes them both. And Colgate has given up the last 5 points. Jordan Burns gained his first breather. The senior from Portugal out there, Francisco Amiel. Askus, nice pass down low to Raymond. Raymond's been quiet. Richardson fakes the 3. Back to Raymond. Good ball movement. Askus, contested 3, doesn't matter. Puts it in over Kostecka. And the Raiders lead 16-15 near steal. That allows Champion a free 3 on the left side. Champion puts that one in. Like I said, he was scoreless in his last 2 games. A turnover by Colgate, a sloppy pass by the Raiders between Amiel and Raymond. Amiel throws it out of bounds. Raymond tries to save it. 18-16, Loyola Maryland. Loyola Maryland hanging with Colgate early. Loyola Maryland dropped 10 threes in the win against Colgate, while Colgate had 6 threes. The Raiders turned the ball over 20 times. Here's a 3 right wing, missed by Kenneth Jones. Jones made his first. Francisco Amiel past the timeline. Jack Ferguson will check in. Next dead ball. Askus rambles down the lane, off glass and in. Great body control by the Northwestern transfer, tied at 18. Askus picking up where he left off against Lehigh. Kostecka holds the ball over his head, dumps it off to Kevon Scott. Champion has it, clutches the ball at his left hip. Jones, pass over left side to Jalen Andrews, a foul away from the ball. And that will bring us to another media timeout. We're going to step aside for 60 seconds as you're watching the game, Patriot League Network on Stadium, and we'll be back with more after this in a minute. Raider Round Ball 94, KXE. At Cotterell Court in Hamilton, New York, deadlocked at 18 between Colgate and Loyola Maryland men's basketball. The Colgate women in action at Navy, 4 o'clock, trying to exact revenge against the Mids, as the Mids victorious in Hamilton earlier this season. Colgate women's tennis underway. They taking on Marist at Drumlin's at 1 o'clock, and then men's tennis taking center stage at Drumlin's at 4 o'clock against Marist. Women's hockey, 3 o'clock at nationally ranked Clarkson. Clarkson currently number 4 in the nation. Colgate women coming off a 2-2 tie against St. Lawrence. They did defeat Clarkson earlier in the season, November 30th, 4-1. Kostecka fakes the 3, left-handed dribble drive against Ivan Askus. Nice fadeaway, the soft kiss off the window. And Loyola Maryland up by 2, 20-18. Kostecka so far 3 out of 4 from the floor. He has 7 points. Leading the way for the Raiders, Ivan Askus already in double digits. He has 10. Greyhounds playing some matchup zone. Here's Amiel. Shoots it left mid post. Ivan Askus off glass a little too strong. Gets it back. Puts it up. This time he leaves it short. Regice, third time the charm. No, it is not. His delivery goes right off the side of the rim. And Loyola Maryland looking to increase her 2-point lead. Champions 3 ball. Misses from the right wing. Regice outlets to Amiel. Amiel stops quarter court right. Now will charge hard to the left. Throwback. Ivan Askus for 3. No good. Raymond with the offensive rebound. Stripped in the paint by Champion. He goes up with it. Champion takes it away. Number 14 rambles all the way to the rim. He has it blocked by Ferguson. Goes out of bounds. Will stay with Loyola Maryland. Their green, black, and white uniforms. All Colgate wearing their traditional home whites with the maroon numbers. At the half, I'll be talking with Colgate freshman Zach Light, all part of the Raider Roundball halftime show. 10:27 before we get there of basketball time. 20-18 Loyola Maryland. Kostecka throws it right side to Andrews. Down low to Kevon Scott. Scott is fouled by Malcolm Regisford before the shot. 10:17 to go in the first half. Raiders currently in a 3-way tie for 3rd place. If they win today, they'll be tied for 2nd place with one other team. That's because Army and American play one another. Nice bounce pass, Kostecka, 2-handed slam. Easy setup by Kevon Scott. And Loyola Maryland now up by 4. 22-18. Amiel to Ivan Askus, back to Amiel. Loyola Maryland has never won here. The Raiders 5-0 against the Greyhounds. Amiel, the backdoor pass to Raymond. Luckily that was kicked for Colgate because that pass nowhere near getting through. A lot of Colgate football players in attendance. They're having their awards banquet tonight. See Nick Martinson among many others across the way for the Colgate Raiders football team. Highly successful, losing to the eventual national champion North Dakota State Bison. Kostecka will get a breather, scoring his 1,000th point, first points of the game. Thrown away by Burns, half court. Here goes Jones, blue skies ahead, the layup's good. Sloppy basketball for Colgate Raiders. Matt Lengel pacing the sidelines. Gives a hard clap of encouragement. Raymond open left wing. Will giving the Cotterell Court Crazies a thrill. 24-21 Loyola Maryland. Is that Raymond's first shot attempt? It was. He tried to go up earlier, but it was stripped away before he even put up a shot. Substitution in the game. It's Sam Norton, the senior forward out of Collegeville, Pennsylvania. Norton will push it to Andrews. Andrews, nice acceleration, floats it in with the right hand, and the defense lacking in the early stages for Colgate, giving up 26 points. We still have 8:43 to go in the first half. Jordan Burns to Amiel. Amiel looking back at Burns, gives it to him. Burns pass to Raymond. Raymond spins. Kevon Scott with a help defense. Scott saying he was straight up, but still they whistle the Loyola Maryland junior forward. Raymond will go to the line. Scott really trying to hammer the point home. He has his arm still straight up. Finally puts him down after the official says something to him. Will Raymond at the line for two, coming into this one, 1,252 career points. Misses the first free throw. Will at 69% for the season. The Raiders losing by 7 in the first matchup with Loyola Maryland in overtime, 79-72. Second free throw is good by Raymond. Raymond 69% from the line as a freshman, went up to 80% last year, but back down to 69 this year. Ball was knocked out of bounds. I'm gonna say it was last touched by Colgate. Staying with Loyola Maryland, Kostecka back into the contest after a short breather. Colgate trailing by 4, 26-22 Loyola Maryland. Kostecka has it, pushes it to Champion with the right hand. Norton back to Champion. Champion drills the three. Champion loves playing against Colgate, like I said. No points in the last two. Already with a couple threes here. Last 6 games, only 2 3-point baskets as Jack Ferguson accelerates baseline and scores. As I was saying, Champion in his last 6 games before this one, he had only had 2 threes in the entire time. Both came against Colgate. He has 2 more threes against the Raiders today. Champion offensive foul, lowered the shoulder into Will Raymond. He says, what did I do? Well, I'll tell you, Chuck, you pushed off Will Raymond. That's an offensive foul. 29-24 Loyola Maryland. We have reached another media timeout, so we're going to step aside for 60 seconds. Patriot League Network on Stadium and 94 KXE. Back to Raider round ball, 94 KXE. Loyola Maryland leading Colgate 29-24, 5 out of 9 from Tripletown, while Colgate 3 out of 4. Continuing to take our cruise around Colgate country. Remember, Colgate women's basketball at Navy at 4 o'clock. Colgate men's hockey, they are hosting number 9, number 10 Clarkson, class of 1965 arena after their big win against St. Lawrence last night, 3-2. And a lot of traffic here as I arrive to Cotterell Court around 1 o'clock. That's because it's the class of 1932 invite at the Sanford Fieldhouse, so best of luck to the Colgate track team. Behind the back pass by Burns to Ferguson for 3. Ferguson misses. Raymond, though, with a cleanup, muscling his way home. What a pretty pass by Burns, though, to set up the Ferguson 3 attempt. Raymond's deuce down low makes this a 1-possession game, 29-26 Loyola Maryland. A well-attended game, as the men's games always are. In fact, women's games too, always great attendance. The Hamilton community and the student athletes love their Colgate hoops. Violation going against Loyola Maryland, so giving the ball back to Colgate, down by 3. A lot of people here in anticipation and see more babies than usual. That's because there's a baby crawl at halftime. I believe it's 6 to 14 months. Going to put them on the Cotterell Court hardwood. See who the fastest baby is. Ferguson down low to Regisford. Regisford with the fastest release of anyone there. Puts it up quickly with his left hand. All of a sudden, it's a 1-point game. The Raiders on a 6-0 spurt. Kostecka loops in the corner to Norton. Norton going against Ferguson. Trying to create space, cannot. Back to Champion. Loyola Maryland resetting the offense. Kostecka looked like he was out of control. Misses the bank shot. Regisford with the rebound. The Raiders looking for the lead. Colgate down 1. Burns to Raymond. Raymond guarded by the smaller Jones. Double team, stolen away. Loyola Maryland leads the Patriot League in steals. Champion for his 3rd 3. Count it. Chuck Champion plays like a champion when he's going against the Raiders, that's for sure. He's a good player, but it looks like the maroon and white really bringing out the best in him, averaging 11.3 points per game. Pass knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Colgate. Raymond subbed out. Ivan Askus back in for him. A lot of points put up so far in Hamilton. 32-28, just under 6 to play. Burns' pass goes through the wickets of Ivan Askus. Ivan Askus able to pick it back up. Richardson throws it away. Kostecka doing a nice job filling the passing lane. Kostecka takes it all the way himself. It was a 1-point game a second ago, and now it's 34-28. That pass behind Richardson. Ivan Askus, luckily, aware and able to get it back. A foul in the post against Loyola, Maryland. Ivan Askus will go to the line, I believe, for a 1-1. I don't think he was in the act of shooting. Regisford will go out for Dana Batt. Ivan Askus, 80% free throw shooter. Coming off a career high 33 points, 10 rebounds against Lehigh. A 1-1 opportunity. The Barrington baller puts it home. Ivan Askus with 11. (34-29) Loyola, Maryland. Ivan Askus hits both. Loyola, Maryland with a 34-30 lead. Remember the Colgate men's hockey game on the airwaves at 7 o'clock. I'm going to make it back to Oneonta, New York, to board off that game for John McGraw. Wide open down low. Kostecka, he's in double digits. The assist by Jones, and the freshman from Hillside, New Jersey. He should get a point for that. See, perfectly set up Kostecka. Kostecka recognized it, pointed to him right away. 36-30 Loyola, Maryland. Another turnover by Colgate, this one committed by Dana Batt. Champion slows the tempo, will back up. Right side pass to Kostecka. Down low to Ochieka. Now out top to Sam Norton, left wing, right-handed dribble. Ochieka gets it back just inside the arc, tries to set the screen on Jack Ferguson. Ferguson had nothing to do with that, staying with Champion. 7 on the shot clock. Champion with 5 on the shot clock. Crossover against Ferguson. Ferguson staying with him. Champion, foul line jumper, no good. Sam Norton with the offensive rebound to Kostecka. Kostecka, plenty of body contact, no whistle, puts it up off glass and in against Dana Batt. And Loyola, Maryland up 38-30. 9-2 run for Loyola, Maryland. Burns for 3, no good. Ivan Askus tries to get the rebound, cannot. The ball trickled off the back of Norton. I think Colgate may be fortunate. Ivan Askus was not called for a foul there. Norton went sprawling. The Raiders currently trailing by 8, 38-30. That's the biggest lead of the game for Loyola, Maryland. Jack Ferguson to Tucker Richardson. Richardson to Ivan Askus. Ivan Askus to Dana Batt. High elbow left side. Batt to Richardson. Stifling half-court defense by the Greyhounds. A foul away from the ball against Loyola, Maryland. That will put Colgate back in the line for a 1-1 opportunity. With 3:45 left to go in the first half, we're going to take another media timeout. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Patriot League Network on Stadium. Last time they gave up 38 points in the first half, they lost. They were 8-0 here at home. They lost to Boston University on February 2nd, 76-68, where they surrendered 38 points to the Terriers in the first half. You'd have to think Loyola, Maryland will have more than 38 points in the first half. So you have to go back to the Army game when Army won at Crystal Arena, 91-81 against Colgate. They scored 45 points. By 8. Open three, Kostecka. He's not going to miss much, and he's certainly not going to miss an open look. He already has more points today against the Raiders than he did in the first matchup when he had 13. Kostecka has 16. Loyola Maryland 7 out of 11 from beyond the arc. They lead by 11. Stabler Arena against Lehigh on Monday. Jordan Burns inside the arc, misses the jumper, goes out of bounds. Last touch by Colgate's Ivan Askus. The only thing going in the favor of Colgate, as Loyola Maryland has picked up 8 fouls. Isaiah Hart and Jalen Andrews with 2 personals each. Loyola Maryland currently on a 10-0 run. 2:43 left to go in the first half. And like I said, got to go back to the Army game when they scored 91 points. They scored 45 points in the first half. And this is a Loyola Maryland team that only makes about 6 threes a game. They already have 8, and we're in the first half. Unbelievable. Shot well against Colgate first time around. A couple different players had their season or career high. Jordan Burns bounces it to Richardson. Colgate in desperate need of a basket. Burns' pass deflected. Tucker Richardson still the benefactor of it. Raymond double teamed, in trouble. Tries to dribble out of it. A foul called against Loyola Maryland. Loyola Maryland with a near steal. The whistle was blown right away, though. Not like one of those whistles where you wait to see what happens and then the whistle's blown. Colgate will go small now. Amiel in for Dana Batts, so both centers, Batt and Regis Ford, on the bench. That last foul against Chuck Champion, so 3 different Greyhounds have 2 personals. Front end of a 1-and-1 for Raymond. It's no good. So the last 2 front ends missed by the Raiders. Last time it was Ivan Askus. This time around it's Raymond. Raymond only 1 out of 3 from the line. And a wasted opportunity for the Raiders, still down by 14. Loyola Maryland in the midst of a 10-0 run. Jones behind the back dribble. And a foul called against Ivan Askus, 15 foul. Ochiaka was posting up Ivan Askus, and that's when the whistle was blown. Scott back in for the Greyhounds. Wide open 3, Norton misses it. Amiel with a rebound. Jones almost had it as the ball bounced past Raymond. 150 and counting. Norton against Raymond. Now the help defense. Raymond puts it up. A travel, though. Thought it was going to be a foul against Loyola Maryland. They call steps against number 10, and this half has been owned by the Greyhounds. If you're just joining us, Loyola Maryland leads by 14. Andrew Kostecka has hit the 1,000-point plateau for his career. He only needed 2, and he had the first 2 points of the game. Kostecka now has 18. He rambles left side of the lane. It's a 16-point Loyola Maryland lead. Oh my, 46-30, 12-0 run for the Greyhounds. Burns bounce past Amiel, back to Burns. Loyola Maryland has never won here at Cotterell Court. Jordan Burns straightaway 3 off to the left. Remember, Burns has missed the last 5 due to injuries, so maybe Jay be a little off. 17.4 points per game is his average. He is the real deal, but maybe a little bit of rust coming back. Ivan Askus with the steal. His jersey was tugged. It doesn't matter. The Barrington baller takes flight, and maybe that will lift the spirits of Colgate. Should have been a holding foul against Loyola Maryland. Luckily it wasn't, because it would have prevented an easy deuce. Coach Lingle, though, asking why the foul wasn't called. Obvious tug. Kostecka should have been called for the personal. 20-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock, 46-32. Loyola Maryland on top. Patient offensive set. Scott will hand it off to Champion. Champion with 4. Fade away from the foul circle. Chuck Champion with a nifty little move and the delivery. 48-32, back to a 16-point lead. Coach Hardy calls for the timeout to set up his defense. And I have to go back even further to look up the last time Colgate has given up this many points in the first half this season. Like I said, Army scored 45 points when they dropped 91 on the Raiders. I'm now back in November, and I'm still not seeing the last time a team scored this many points in a half. This could be a season high, and indeed it is. So with all the big teams Colgate has played, Syracuse only scored 35 points in the first half. Go with the Penn State game, the Nittany Lions scored 41. Loyola, Maryland, not known for their being an offensive juggernaut, lighting up Colgate in the first half of play. 8 seconds to go in the first half. Shot clock's off. Burns with a shake and bake, the 3 ball. Burns leaves it short, 2 seconds. Ferguson gets it back. Raymond, quick release 3, it's good. Will Raymond pours in the 3 from the far baseline, and hopefully that's what Colgate needs to get them started and back on the road to recovery against the Greyhounds, currently trailing 48-35. Tucker Richardson yet to put up a shot. He will inbounds right in front of me here. Tucker does have a couple of assists. Colgate 8 assists, 9 turnovers. Remember in the first matchup, when they lost, they had 20 turnovers. They were without the services of Jordan Burns. Burns 0 for 4 from the floor. Like I said, after missing 5, you have to expect a little bit of rust. See if Burns can get on track. Ivan Askus, throw back to Burns. Colgate starts with the ball, moving from right to left. Deep 3, Raymond rattles around and falls in. Raymond rocks the rim, can't miss here. He's 4 out of 4 from the floor. Raymond now has 3 threes, 169 for his career. And that cuts the lead to 10, 48-38. So Raymond closes out the scoring in the first half with a triple and starts the second half scoring with a trifecta. 48-38 Loyola, Maryland. Isaiah Hart, didn't seem like he hardly played at all in the first half. That's because he had 2 fouls. Chuck Champion barrels that 3 against the glass. That's about as hard as you can throw up a 3. Ricochets off. Colgate with a rebound. A successful baby crawl, first ever here. Cotterell, Corn, Hamilton. I believe Phoebe was the winner. Foul away from the ball going against Colgate. I believe there were 6 baby participants. Wasn't much of a race. Phoebe took her a little bit to get started, and then when she did, Phoebe just took off. It was a no contest, so. Great contest here at Colgate. Bridget St. Ledger always doing a great job. Natalie Carter as well with all the promotions here. So the foul away from the ball going against Ivan Askus. He fouled out against Loyola, Maryland earlier this season. Champion puts up with a right hand, gets it to go. Raymond falls to the deck. I'm not sure what happened after that. Coach Langle was not happy with that offensive foul. It's back to 50-38. Loyola, Maryland back to a 12-point edge. Burns steps into that 3, misses it. He's 0 for 5 from the floor. Burns gets it back down low to Ivan Askus, puts on the deck once, puts it up, no good. Contact, no whistle. Ivan Askus bats it away, gets it back, and now a ticky-tack foul on Ochiaka. I thought there was more contact previously. Seems like a makeup call there. 50-38 Loyola, Maryland. The freshman quickly exits stage left, and in for him is the junior, Kevon Scott. Burns looking, will throw it to Richardson in the backcourt. Richardson quickly past the timeline. 17:50 and counting in the game. Colgate looking to avoid defeat to Loyola, Maryland for the first time ever here. Pass, bat, down low to Askus, has it blocked from behind by Kostecka. Kostecka leads the Greyhounds in that category. His second. Isaiah Hart with a crossover to Andrews for three, no good. Askus with a rebound. Richardson with a hesitation dribble, throwback to Burns, wide open. Jordan cannot hit today. Like I said, maybe a little rust. Still looking for his first make. Kostecka the other way, off glass and in. Kostecka, an unstoppable force this year in the Patriot League. His last three, 29, 27, and 22. Will probably be above that total today, or at least the 22-point total. Hopefully not the 29 for Colgate's sake. There's a foul by Loyola, Maryland. Askus goes down. 17 minutes to go, smack dab at the 17-minute mark. This is Coach Hardy's first appearance here at Cotterell Court, I think ever. Played with Northwestern, coached at Northwestern as an assistant, then Georgetown, then Georgia Tech in his first year as head coach. Dana Batt with a nice move, has it blocked though by Scott, slams that one away. Isaiah Hart, the dribble. Screen set by Scott, looked like it may be an illegal one. No whistle, and Scott scores from the right low block. The lead elevates to 54-38, 16-point edge for Loyola, Maryland. Richardson almost loses it, in trouble, floats it to Burns. Askus has it just outside the paint, moves inside the paint, gets away with a little push, or does he? Not sure what the whistle is. Goes against Loyola, Maryland. Looked like Askus with a little bit of a push off, but the whistle may have been on something away from the ball. I'm not sure. It does go against Hart. That's his third. So Loyola, Maryland matching their biggest lead of the game, 16 points, 54-38. Askus quick pass to Burns. That's an offensive foul. With 16-17 to go, Loyola, Maryland looking to shock Colgate. Matt Langle with an encouraging clap, trying to remind his team there's still a lot of basketball to be played despite the 16-point deficit. Good ball movement. Here's Kostecka. Out top to Andrews. Andrews fakes the pass. Nice no look down low to Scott. Scott misses it. Shot altered by Raymond. Loyola, Maryland gets it back. Hart's three pops out. Askus with a rebound. Jordan Burns catches Bat in stride. Bat somehow reverses it to the right. He was to the left of the rim, or kind of facing the rim. He flipped it up with the right hand. The Bulldog is fouled. He'll go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. Raiders trail by 14. We'll be back for the Bulldogs free throw in 60 seconds. Patriot League Network on Stadium. It hasn't been a game to cheer about for Raiders fans so far. They led early on, biggest lead of the game 4, but Loyola, Maryland has controlled the majority of this contest. Biggest lead on a couple of different occasions, 16 points. They led the half by 13. Jordan Burns with a pinpoint pass, and Dana Batt with the finish. His free throw is short, a lane violation against Loyola, Maryland. Looks like the early entry into the lane may have thrown Dana Batt off as well. He left it short. He's usually a very good free throw shooter, 84% on the season. Want to congratulate Colgate men's lacrosse coach Matt Carwick and his team for the victory against Syracuse in the Dome last night. Dana Batt with another miss. So he missed the first one, which ended up being a lane violation, but the 84% free throw shooter can't knock home the second one. Chuck Champion throws it to Jones. Jones passes it over to Andrews. Andrews fakes the pass left, keeps on the right to Jones. Jones to Kostecka, 5 on the shot clock. Down low to Kevon Scott, whips it out to Jones. Champion wide open, 2 on the shot clock. Chuck Champion with his 4th triple of the contest, and Loyola, Maryland has their biggest lead of the game, 17 points. Chuck Champion scoreless in his last 2. Today he has 14. Loyola, Maryland, just like in the second half against Colgate in the previous encounter, can't miss. Dana Batt is fouled underneath, and the Bulldog will head back to the free throw line. The Raiders surrendering the most first half points they have given up this season, 48. Loyola, Maryland still shooting over 60% for the game. Dana Batt hits the free throw. You'd have to think that can't continue, but it's continued so far here in the second half of play. Dana Batt's second free throw is true, and his reward, he'll be replaced by Malcolm Regice. Malcolm coming in for the shooter regardless of the free throw result. You keep getting the feeling that Colgate's going to make a run. Every time we say that, Loyola, Maryland keeps scoring. Andrews with a nice move. Jordan Burns, though, with a help defense, pops it free, and that kind of put Andrews off kilter. Raiders down by 15 with possession of the rock. Jordan Burns separates, puts up with the right hand, and there's JB's first bucket from the floor. He had a couple free throws, but Jordan Burns was 0 for 6 from the floor. 57-44. Wide open 3, Jalen Andrews sends it long, going high into the Hamilton sky. Tucker Richardson with the loose ball. Will Raymond will hand it off to Jordan Burns. Burns in the center court circle. Gallivants to the left. Throws it down low to Ivan Askus. Ivan Askus kind of whips it off glass and in. He was falling underneath the hoop. Twisted the ball up there. Perfect spin, and the Raiders within 11. 57-46. Raiders have scored the last 6. Jones runs in a wide open space, leaves it short. It's going to be Colgate basketball. Scott tried to jam that one home, couldn't get control, goes out of bounds, and we have reached our second media timeout of the second half. 57-46 Loyola, Maryland. Back after this in 60 seconds. Raider Roundball, Patriot League Network on Stadium. Back at Cotterell Court in Hamilton, New York. This is Eric Malinowski all alone this afternoon. Jeff Bishop enjoying School of Rock on Broadway in New York City. Taking his daughter there today, so hopefully Jeff is having fun, and hopefully the Raider fans have fun before the end of this basketball day. Right now, not too much to cheer about. That's because Loyola, Maryland shooting 59% from the floor, 50% from beyond the arc, 9 out of 18. They scored 48 points in the first half. Colgate playing a little better defensively in the second half, but still a long ways to go, down 11 points with 13:35 to go. Foul trouble could become an issue for Loyola, Maryland. Chuck Champion and Isaiah Hart both saddled with 3. Hart's really been a non-factor due to the foul trouble, only playing 8 minutes, 56 seconds. Nice pass, Burns to Raymond. Raymond rocks the rim. 3 ball. Will giving a thrill to the Cotterell Court Crazies. And it's a 57-49. Loyola, Maryland lead. Kostecka takes it to the rack, a foul away from the ball. Offensive foul against Loyola, Maryland. Will Raymond doing a great job inducing that. He was fired up as it was going to be an easy deuce for Kostecka. Wipe it away. Andrew Kostecka's point total stays at 20. 4th consecutive game where Kostecka has scored at least 20 points. He is averaging 21 points per game, which leads the Patriot League. Coach Hardy not happy with that last call. And that is the 4th personal against Chuck Champion. Champion, a season-high 19 points against Colgate in the first matchup. He has 16 today. Will pick up his 4th foul. Here's another Raymond 3. Everybody loves Raymond today. 57-52. Another assist by Jordan Burns. Burns a smile from ear to ear. He'll keep feeding, Will, I would think. 57-52 Loyola, Maryland. Colgate on a 12-0 run. It was 57-40 moments ago. Loyola, Maryland in desperate need of a basket. A foul away from the ball this time against Colgate. Already 16 fouls against Loyola, Maryland. while Colgate just picked up their third. I believe Will Raymond, the guilty party, that's his second. Richardson, Askus, Regice, Burns, and Raymond, the 5 on the floor for Colgate. The only non-starter out there, Malcolm Regice, and Regice and Bat, I mean, you could flip-flop. Bat has started every game this season, but Richardson with the steal on the inbounds pass by the freshman Jones. Burns down low, Askus lays it up and in. It's a one-possession game. 14-0 run for the Raiders. 57-54 Loyola, Maryland. Colgate coming alive. Isaiah Hart back in there despite his 3 personal fouls. Scott back to Hart. High screen set by Scott. Hart at the free throw line. Kostecka dumps it down low to Scott. 10 on the shot clock. Backs down Regice. They're going to wave off the basket, say the foul was on the floor. 4th team foul against Colgate. Scott's shot attempt did find the bottom of the net. Like I said, they blew the whistle before the shot. Score stays 57-54. Loyola, Maryland. The Greyhounds, only with 9 second-half points in 8 minutes after they scored 48 in the first half. Another foul against Colgate. So the foul picture starting to even up here in the second half. The last foul was against Regice. That's his second. And that one going against Jordan Burns, that's his third. Jack Ferguson into the game for the Raiders. Ball knocked away by Raymond in a foot race with Hard. Hard wins it. And the Greyhounds going back. Looked like Kostecka got away with the travel. Looked like the ball got caught up on his hip. No whistle there. Hart with 5 on the shot clock. Foul line jumper off to the left. Askus with a rebound. Askus with 7 boards now, and the Raiders down by 3. 11:35 to go. Pass by Richardson. Sails it way over Askus. Askus saying, I'm posting up here. Now we have reached a media timeout. Loyola, Maryland basketball when play resumes. 11:35 left. 57-54 Greyhounds. We'll return in 60 seconds. Patriot League Network on Stadium. Back to Raider round ball, 94 KXC. Colgate committing their 12th turnover before the timeout. They have 14 assists, so does Loyola Maryland, but the difference is Loyola Maryland only turning the ball over 7 times. Points off turnovers, Loyola Maryland, they had an even bigger advantage after at the half, 16-6 points from turnovers. Now it's 18-11 points from turnovers. Colgate led by Askus' 18 points and 8 rebounds, so he's on pace to his 10th double-double of the season, while Will Raymond heating up 6 out of 6 from the floor. Only blemish for Will the Thrill, 1 out of 3 from the free throw line. Kostecka going for his 23rd point, does not get it, misses the 3. Kostecka now 9 out of 12 from the floor, 2 out of 4 from Tripletown. Richardson, who had an ill-advised pass last time, will keep it on the perimeter. Ferguson fakes the 3, back to Richardson. Richardson to Regice, foul line jumper, skips off, no good. Raymond keeps it alive. Ferguson puts up with the right hand, misses it, but was fouled. Hard to believe, but Tucker Richardson, very good player, he has yet to attempt a shot. Richardson averaging 7.4 points per game. 9 points, 9 assists against Lehigh, yet to attempt a shot here. Jack Ferguson at the free throw line. Jack 1 out of 2 from the floor, 2 points, 2 assists, 0 turnovers. First free throw, gets a little home loving from the rim. Almost skipped out, but this is Cotterell court. They recognize, then plus he's wearing the lucky jersey number 13. Ferguson makes both. And Jack now on the season, 22 out of 28 from the line. The Raiders on a 16-0 run. 57-56 Loyola Maryland. Let's see if the Raiders can come all the way back. Kostecka drives with the left hand, has it knocked away by Richardson. Here comes Raymond. Colgate looking for their first lead in a long time after trailing by 16. The Raiders on a 16-0 run. Good job by Loyola Maryland getting back on transition defense. Registered to Askus, almost gets away from him. Foul on Norton. 8th team foul against Loyola, Maryland, as the fouls continue to pile up, and that, I would think, is a major reason why the score is close to being tied. Askus at the free throw line, 2 out of 3. The only free throw he missed was the front end of a 1-and-1 in the first half. The Barrington baller takes his time. Good rotation, and we are tied at 57. Colgate on a 17-0 run. It was 57-40. Loyola, Maryland enjoying their biggest lead of the game. It looked bleak for the Raiders. 10:37 to go, and we are tied like that, 57-57. Colgate women taking the floor at 4 against Navy, looking for revenge on the mids. And the Raiders have their first lead since early in the first half. 18-0 run Raiders, 58-57 Colgate, 10:30 to play. The fans enjoying this one right now. Loyola, Maryland, desperate need of a basket and a foul against Colgate. If that's Raymond, that will be his third. Let's see who the call's against. It will be against Will Raymond. That's his third. So Burns and Raymond on the bench. Well, Burns is on the bench with 3. He'll run in for Raymond, who has 3. So Coach Langle, in his 8th season, rolling the dice here. Coach Langle, 104 career wins, looking to surpass Ellery Huntington. Ellery had 104 wins from 1900 to 1913. 5th all-time here at Colgate. Kostecka, spin dribble to Jones. Jones taking Ferguson to the rack, off glass, lots of contact, no whistle. Looks like it was last touched by Scott, and it will be Colgate basketball. Coach Hardy wanted a foul, and I have to agree with him on that occasion. Looked like there was some definite contact. The refs let the big boys play, and the Raiders up by 1, looking for more. Colgate in the midst of an 18-0 run. Only 9 points for Loyola, Maryland in the second half after dropping 48 on the Raiders in the first half. Burns, Tamiel, Francisco in the game, back to Burns. Burns, laser pass to Regice for it, off glass and in. That pass was hotter than a Peruvian death pepper, 60-57 Colgate. Top of the key, Norton, right side pass to Kostecka. Norton looking to tie the game, straightaway 3, no good. Burns goes high into the Hamilton sky for the loose ball. Colgate on a 20-0 run. Ferguson for more, it's good. Jack is happy and so are the Raiders. 63-57 Colgate. A 23-0 run Colgate. Andrew Kostecka passes it to Jones. Kostecka becoming the 38th player in Loyola, Maryland history to reach the 1,000-point plateau. He did it. First bucket of the game to give Loyola, Maryland a 2-0 lead. Scott is fouled on his way to the basket. Kevon Scott on the season only a 57% free throw shooter in the act of shooting, so he will go to the line for 2. Hard to believe after a 23-0 run you're only up by 6, but that's because you had to come back from a 17-point deficit. That last foul against Askus, so 3 players for Colgate now have 3 fouls. Burns, Raymond, and Askus. Scott misses the first free throw. He has a second chance to finally put an end to the 23-0 run. This game was 57-40 with 15-16 to go, and there the run finally comes to an end. Took about 6 minutes for the Raiders to go on a 23-0 run. Now it's a 23-1 run, 63-58. Still a boatload of time to go. Ferguson loses it out of bounds. He thought he was fouled. Not the case. Andrews inducing that turnover. Remember, the Raiders only with a 5-point lead. Sometimes it exhausts a team to come back from a deficit like that, 17 points. Next couple minutes, crucial here. Hart, spin dribble, almost loses it, gets it back. One-on-one against Burns, champion between the rings. Overhead offering to Scott. Scott the champion. Champions played very well in decision to Scott. Scott is fouled by Regice. And Malcolm in the middle just picked up his third. That will put Scott at the free throw line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Regice kind of out of position there, and that resulted in the easy foul call. Stuckey gets about a second breather. He's right back into the game. Norton comes out. Kevon Scott, 1 out of 2 from the free throw line last trip. He got 2 last time because he was in the act of shooting. He missed the first one, made the second. He makes the first this time around. And Kevon Scott can put this at a 1-possession game if he makes this free throw. 63-59 Colgate. If you're just joining us, you missed a heck of a run by Colgate. After trailing by 17, they put up 23 straight points. But Loyola, Maryland has scored the last 3 to make it a 1-possession game, 63-60. Burns, pass, wide open, Ferguson, no good. Ferguson misses near baseline. Now Loyola, Maryland could move within 1 or tie. Hard out of control, somehow gets the dribble back. He almost fell to the ground. It's going so fast sometimes. His legs are moving faster than his body. 13 seconds left to go on the shot clock. 7:45 in the game. Scott backing down Regice puts it up, no good. Champion with a weak side rebound. 3 ball on the way by Andrews, sends it long. Burns falls right into his breadbasket. Great to have Jordan Burns back on the court after missing 5 games. Jordan Burns, 9 assists today. Check his stats. That could be a career high for Burns. A travel against Askus, so it did look like Colgate spending a lot of energy to get that lead back, and now they're looking sluggish. But still, saying that, they're up by 3. We're going to step aside for a 60-second timeout. Raider Roundball, Patriot League Network on Stadium. Back to Raider Roundball, 94 KXE. What a game of runs. Colgate on a 23-0 run. Loyola, Maryland, though, finally putting an end to that thanks to 3 free throws by Kevon Scott at 63-60 Colgate. The Raiders outscoring Loyola, Maryland in the second half 28-12, and Loyola, Maryland, they shot 67.9% in the first half, 23.5% in the second. And that's why Colgate has the lead right now. The Raiders led by Askus' 20 points, 9 rebounds. 4 different Raiders have 3 personals: Raymond, Askus, Burns, and Regice. While Hart has 3 for Loyola, Maryland. Chuck Champion has 4. Nice pass to Stuckey, loses it though. Stuckey can't get it back. I thought was last touched by Loyola, Maryland. Raymond wants a review. But they're going to say it's Loyola, Maryland basketball with 21 on the shot clock. If Stuckey can handle that cleanly, it's probably a layup. Stuckey catches the inbounds pass, top of the key. Scott to Hart. Isaiah Hart, 2 points on the afternoon. Fade away by Stuckey, rattles around and falls in. Stuckey has 22 points, 10 out of 13 from the floor. 5-0 spurt for Loyola, Maryland. It's a 1-point game. Raymond fakes the 3, now takes the long distance jumper. It's a long 2 for Raymond. And Will matches Askus' total at 20. 7 out of 7 from the floor. Champion fakes the 3. Amiel with the foul. That will put Champion at the line for a 1-and-1. Not much contact there, but enough to elicit the whistle. Champion, a 69% free throw shooter. Askus and Burns back into the game for Colgate. Amiel picking up his first personal. Amiel and Ferguson coming out. Burns and Askus in, joining Regice, Richardson, and Raymond. Champion, Scott, Stuckey, Hart, and Andrews, the 5 on the floor for Loyola, Maryland. Front end of a 1-and-1 is good, and it's a 2-point Colgate lead, 65-63. The Raiders looking to complete an improbable 17-point comeback here in the second half. No arc from Champion, but he didn't need it. Both free throws go in, and it's a 1-point game, 65-64. Bounce pass to Richardson. Champion, 18 points, 1 away from his season high, which was set against Colgate. Great job by Richardson holding the pivot foot. so he wasn't whistled for a travel. 8 on the shot clock. Burns has the top of the key, no look pass. Raymond in and out, no good. He finally misses a shot. Kevon Scott with the rebound. On Raymond's first miss of the afternoon from the floor, it was halfway down. 65-64, Loyola Maryland looking to get the lead back after they have led the majority of this game. Enjoyed a 17-point lead in the second half. Offensive foul against Kostecka. I was watching the ball with Jalen Andrews. Kostecka cutting baseline, and I just saw Richardson go flying. That's the third personal against Kostecka. The freshman definitely gets in the skin of opposing players. So even on a day where he hasn't attempted any shots, he does a great job in other categories. Raymond, nice spin dribble, off glass, no good, but Will is going to the line for 2. 5:36 to play. Colgate attempting 15 free throws, making 11, and that foul is also against Kostecka, so Kostecka picking up 2 quick fouls in the last 10-15 seconds here, and he has 4. Let's see if Coach Hardy goes to the bench. Coach Langle going to the bench. He'll put Dana Batt back in for Malcolm Regisford. Will Raymond misses the free throw. So Will has only missed 1 shot from the floor, 6 out of 7. Uncharacteristically, he's 1 out of 4 from the free throw line. Will taking his time. Second free throw is good, and he has 21 points. 4th time Will has hit at least 20 points in a game this season. Colgate leads by 2, 66-64. Kevon Scott will hand it off to Champion, trying to throw back to Scott. Here goes Hart, creates some space, elevates, pops out. Andrews with the offensive board, he misses it. Raymond gets it back, jump ball situation. Possession arrow favors Loyola Maryland. Didn't look like he had it long enough to call the jump ball, but that's what the whistle is all about. And Loyola Maryland getting another chance to tie or possibly take the lead. Bounce pass into Scott. Colgate women's basketball playing at 4 at Navy. Colgate men's hockey on the airwaves taking on nationally ranked Clarkson, a game John McGraw will have all the play-by-play of. Starting approximately 7:05. Chuck Champion, see, dribbled it off Burns. 10 on the shot clock. Well, no backcourt violation since Burns touched it. Champion, nice move to the rack. Ivan Askus with the rejection. Here goes Raymond. Hart from behind, pokes it free. Nelly Cummings, a transfer, catches that loose ball. Cummings wanted to shoot, but he's a transfer student, so the one-time Bowling Green student athlete will have to wait till next year to put that shot up. Well, he couldn't anyways because he was on the bench, but you know what I'm trying to say. Ivan Askus with a thunderous block. Almost leading to a Will Raymond layup, but Isaiah Hart, presence of mind, come from behind and poke that one free, so Colgate will have to earn their points in the half-court set. 4:38 and counting. Burns drops it off to Batt. Batt 1 foot outside the three-point arc. Leaves it for Richardson, yet to attempt a shot. Ivan Askus with 8 on the shot clock against the smaller Norton. Spins in, puts up with the right hand. They're going to wave it off, call it travel against Ivan Askus. Coach Langle beside himself.
He's on LSD,
66-64. Coach Langle pleading his case. The Raiders clinging to a 2-point lead, so they wave off the Ivan Askus basket. Isaiah Hart takes it to the rack, loses it. He puts up the shot, but never got close to the rim. Burns no look past Ivan Askus, barrels down. He is fouled. Raymond with a tip, and they're going to wave off the basket. And Ivan Askus will go to the free throw line for a couple. Ivan Askus, a 33-point performance against Lehigh. His encore, not too shabby. 20 points here at Cotterell Court in Hamilton. The Raiders trying to avoid defeat to Loyola Maryland for the first time ever here at Cotterell Court. Colgate a perfect 5-0 against the Greyhounds here in Hamilton. 14th meeting between the two schools, Colgate with an 8-5 edge. Askus' free throw is good, and the Raiders lead by 3, 67-64. Askus now 5 out of 6 from the line. Colgate trying to hold on after coming back from a 17-point deficit. Both free throws by Askus, 68-64. Under 4 to go here. Kosteka still on the bench with 4 fouls. You think he'll come back in soon. Hart with a nice up and under. Pops out though, somehow doesn't go in. Beautiful move. Just couldn't execute. Askus has his 10th double-double of the season. He had 9 rebounds. That certainly looked like a rebound to me. So Askus should have 10 double-doubles. The aforementioned Askus has it against Scott, one-on-one baseline, backing down the junior forward. Junior versus junior. Askus can't hit on the turnaround. The isolation play does not produce points for Colgate. 3:22 and counting. The Raiders up by 4. Norton fakes the pass down low. Still has it. Burns fronting Hart. Norton able to get it to Hart. Scott has it, back to the basket. Now he'll face the basket, take one dribble, uses it. Hart dribbles against Raymond, off glass and in. Hart made some beautiful moves to the basket last time though. Couldn't get it to fall. This time he does, and it's back to a 2-point game. 68-66, under 3 to play. Excitement in Hamilton. Looked like it may be a Loyola Maryland blowout. Here is Burns, misses it. Bat has it, gets it back. Richardson with a touch pass to Askus. 7 on the shot clock. Burns for 3, leaves it short, no good. Rebounded by Kenneth Jones. Burns struggling with his shot today, only 1 out of 8, 0 for 6 from beyond the arc. Jones has it. High screen set by Scott. Here goes Andrews, has it blocked by Raymond. They call Raymond for the foul. And that will put Andrews at the line. Raymond thought he had all ball, 2:17 to play. And that will bring us to our last media timeout of the game. We'll be back in 60 seconds as Will Raymond just picked up his 4th personal. You have it tuned to Raider Roundball, Patriot League Network on Stadium and 94 KXE. Back to Raider Roundball, 94 KXE and Patriot League Network on Stadium. I want to thank Jeff Bell for doing a great job, Patriot League Network on Stadium, and I want to thank Johnny Martin for doing an excellent job with the broadcast on 94 KXE, also streaming WKXEFM.com. Today's title sponsor, Rush's Bar and Grill, Lebanon Street in Hamilton. Taking a look at the numbers, Rapolis Askus with his 10th double-double of the season, 22 points, 10 rebounds. Will Raymond right behind him with 21 points. Jordan Burns, double digits in assists. He has 10. Stuckey has 22, Champion is 18. Jalen Andrews has 7. He's a perfect 2 out of 2 from the line. His right-handed shot rims out, no good. Loyola Maryland now 7 out of 9 from the free throw line. Colgate 14 out of 19 from the free throw line. Andrews' second free throw. Loyola Maryland down by 2, now down by 1, 68-67. A major reason why Will Raymond 21 points today, 5 out of 5 from beyond the arc. That ties his career high. He's now done it 6 times in his career. Smack dab at the 2-minute mark, Raiders up by 1. They need a hoop here. Jordan Burns throws it to a wide open Dana Bat, the Bulldog, with the 2-handed slam. Assist number 11 by Jordan Burns. His career high is 12. Raiders lead by 3, still a 1-possession game. Here goes Kosteka to Champion. Both players have 4 personals. Champion at the free throw line has a block by Raymond, gets it back, no good. The long rebound is corralled by Champion. Champion to Scott. Hart looking to tie to Champion. Loyola Maryland almost put up the 3 on 2 different occasions, 1:20 to play. Champion almost loses it, gets it back once again to Andrews. Andrews will hand it off to Champion, thinks about the deep 3 instead, runs to the right, creates space, has it blocked by the Bulldog. Bad with a bark. That goes out of bounds. 1:07 to play. 7 on the shot clock. The Bulldog showing his teeth. 7 on the shot clock. 1:07 to play. The Raiders clinging to a 3-point lead. As the rejection went out of bounds, champion to Andrews. Kostecka drives against Ivan Askus, finds space, no good, but the foul by Scott as the horn sounds. What a valiant offensive effort by Loyola, Maryland to make this a 1-point game, 70-69. The scoreboard is wrong. It gave Colgate the points. Burns down low to bat, loses it, it goes out of bounds. It was last touched by Colgate. Turnover Raiders. 16th turnover by Colgate. That brings us to a timeout. And they're going to review it. 70-69 Colgate. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Don't forget Colgate men's hockey on the 94 KXE airwaves tonight. American up by 6 against Army, 66-60. 4:56 left to go in that one. Bucknell defeated Boston University earlier today. That game had a noon start, 82-76. While Navy and Lehigh will get together at 4:30 this afternoon, and then there's a game tomorrow. Holy Cross at Lafayette. That's a noon start on the CBS Sports Network. $70-69 Colgate. .8 left. 14.8 second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Isaiah Hart will slide past the timeline. Here goes Kostecka, the best player. Shot's going to fall, and he's going to the line. What a move by Kostecka. Let's see who commits the foul. So just like that, Loyola, Maryland seizes the lead right back. They're up by 1, 71-70. Kostecka, 5th best in the Patriot League at 84%, trying to give Loyola, Maryland a 2-point lead. It is good. And Kostecka's point total now at 24. Timeout. We're going to take a timeout as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Raider Roundball, Patriot League Network on Stadium and 94 KXE. A 5.1 second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. If the Raiders come up empty, this offensive trip down the floor, they certainly don't want to foul Andrew Kostecka. Loyola, Maryland fighting back and now taking the lead 72-70. Richardson, Burns, Raymond, Ferguson, and Ivan Askus, the 5 on the floor. The last foul was against Richardson. That was his second. Ferguson out there instead of Bat or Regice for his 3-point shooting ability. Burns will step back in the backcourt. Handled pass from Richardson. Colgate down by 2. Burns in trouble. Finally flips it to Ferguson. A timeout, Colgate. Ferguson bounces it to Richardson. 13 on the shot clock. Richardson to Burns. 10 on the shot clock. Burns trying to go baseline. Defensive switch. Pass to Raymond. 4-3. It's good! Will Raymond has a new career high. 6 threes. 10.3 to go. It's a 1-point Colgate lead. Loyola, Maryland looking to go. They will not call a timeout. Hart will hand it off to Kostecka. Kostecka goes to the rim. There's an offensive foul against Loyola, Maryland. Kostecka has just fouled out of the game. 4 seconds left. Ivan Askus flexing his muscles as he should. Game's far from over. 73-72. The Raiders looking to trigger in. Tucker Richardson will throw it to Ivan Askus. Ivan Askus, 80% plus free throw shooter. If you're Colgate, that's the person you want at the line. 6 out of 7 from the free throw line. Luke Johnson, who did not play against Colgate the first time, as the player that came in for Kostecka. 3.1 left to go, so it took 0.9. Double bonus time. Ivan Askus will have a pair. Rapolis' first free throw is good. It's a 2-point game. Chuck Champion coming in for Johnson. Timeout on the floor, Loyola, Maryland. Would not be a shocker if this game went into overtime, as 4 of the last 8 in this series have gone to overtime. So it seems like when Loyola, Maryland, and Colgate get together, it takes more than 40 minutes of basketball to decide the winner. It did the first time around at Loyola, Maryland. Will Raymond in a last-second layup to send it to the extra 5 minutes, where Loyola, Maryland won by 7. Gets eerily quiet here at Cotterell Court. Ivan Askus hits the free throw. Here comes Loyola, Maryland for the tie. Hart with a good look off to the right, and Colgate survives. Well, that will do it for the broadcast on Patriot League Network on Stadium. So we're going to sign off there. Thanks to Jeff Bell and everyone.